Hi everyone, this is CJ with Cycletron. Well, I thought I'd do an update video. This is the last in the series because I have no interest in being a social commentary channel. But I've done a series of videos. You know, you all don't have to sell your Harleys. You don't have to not buy a Harley if that's what you want to do. I know there's a lot of people who are upset out there for a variety of reasons based on the comments to my recent videos. So I'm just going to break it all down, give you some good viable options, kind of put this all in perspective. So I did a series of videos when this whole Bud Light controversy came along. I realized that Harley Davidson was going to potentially face a similar situation if they took any marketing missteps. And of course, Harley being Harley, they do goofy stuff all the time. You know, they just, obviously I don't run the corporation, but as a publicly traded company, it's a marvel to me how many dumb moves they make. Now, I still like the motorcycles. I still own a Harley. I own several other makes of motorcycles as well. But I think it's time that I just kind of clarify what I was trying to do. I admit I was trying to thread the needle on this thing. Wasn't trying to inflame anybody to boycott Harley or anything like that. So I just was wondering if this is in fact leading to an actual boycott of Harley Davidson. And I think it's time to just lower the temperature in the room, as it were, and again, put some things in perspective. And I'm going to give you some actionable items here for you to consider. Now, I'm filming this on Memorial Day. We have a lot of hard-fought freedoms in this country where people gave the ultimate sacrifice for us to enjoy what we can enjoy here today in this country. Even with all the things going on, this is still the place to be if you've lived anywhere else in the world. And, you know, I want to thank the longtime viewers who was kind of questioning me where I was going with this. Ray Smith, My Motor Rod, Gene Clark, and others. And I didn't want to go off-brand with these other videos because I've given a lot of topics related to business, particularly with regard to Harley Davidson. And I think one of the issues here is that, you know, I'm not brand loyal. I own a variety of motorcycles. I have over the years as well. And if a big part of your identity is tied up into owning a particular brand of motorcycle, I think you gotta examine that. I mean, do you think these brands are as loyal to you as you may be to them? I don't think they are. So if these companies do things that upset you, you know, put it in perspective. You know, it's always amazing to me when I say something that could be construed as critical of Harley Davidson, the company in general. There's these people that, for lack of a better term, I would call fanboys, who just become unhinged. And one of the common insults from people like this is that, you know, I'm not manly enough to ride a Harley. I should go buy a Honda or a Yamaha or what have you. And it's like, well, I have a Hayabusa, I have a Katana, I have a Harley. Who cares what you have? You know, again, if you're buying into the macho image that a Harley's a man's bike, or, you know, Sportsters are for girls or other brands are for girls, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure out there. I'm just telling you that. And I know this is the minority of viewers, but I gotta put it out there. It's like, why get so worked up about somebody saying something negative about Harley? I mean, they're big boys, they can handle it, and girls. Now, getting back to all this controversy, I by no means am a fan of ESG-driven investing. I think it's a huge mistake. I think people are waking up to it and are sick of it, and there's things you can do about it. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, I emailed Harley Davidson's media relations folks, Paul James and Jennifer Hoyer. They never got back to me. So what I would suggest, instead of selling your Harley or not buying a Harley, contact Jochen Zeitz yourself. I'm going to put both his phone number, physical address, and email address at Harley Davidson in the description for this video. The phone number for Harley Corporate is 414-342-4680. And if you want to email the CEO of Harley Davidson, his email is jochen.zeitz@harley-davidson.com. So again, I'll put that in the description to this video. I suggest emailing them, let them know what you think. You know, why are they charging so far over MSRP? Why do they have so many shady dealers? If, you know, I don't think it's smart to associate any vehicle manufacturer with an alcoholic drink. I mean, who else does that? So Harley wants it both ways. They want to cater to the macho image. You know, I guess beer's macho. Although I don't drink any Anheuser-Busch products. I drink Guinness. I drink a variety of other beers, craft beers, things that follow the German purity law, as it were. And, you know, the American-style Pilsners, you know, if it's 100 degrees and I mowed the grass, maybe I'll drink one under those circumstances. Otherwise, they're not for me. But what got me thinking about this is I go to Barnes & Noble every week or two to restock on reading materials. And I never noticed this before, but there's a section that, you know, I'd not care to buy a book from, but so what? I wouldn't buy a manga comic book either. There's sections of the bookstore that interest me, there's sections that don't interest me. So if I see something that I can't relate to or I don't want to relate to, should I boycott Barnes & Noble? Of course not. So if Harley does something stupid, let him know about it. But again, you don't have to boycott. I think these boycotts are self-defeating. They tend to cancel out. They tend to not be sustained. Now, the Bud Light thing is a little different because their marketing person just destroyed the brand. It's not by what they actually did in the beginning, but they went on a podcast and basically trashed their existing customer base. And then Anheuser-Busch just went radio silent. So they just bungled the whole thing. Harley Davidson, I think, has a chance to respond to people's questions, legitimate questions and comments. So again, that's the purpose of putting the contact information in this video. But again, like I said, we have a lot of freedoms, including the freedom to not be offended. You know, the Stoics over 2,000 years ago pointed out that somebody really can't insult you or make you mad unless you decide to let that happen. And the other reason why I don't like boycotts is, you know, I remember back in the 80s, I called my stockbroker and I wanted to execute a transaction on a gold stock, and they said, "Oh no, you can't buy that stock." I said, "Why?" "Well, they're a South African-based mining company, and I think that trading company was owned by Sears or somebody like that, and Sears decided they weren't going to do business with apartheid South Africa." Which, okay, it's understandable, but why not leave those decisions up to the individual? I don't like it when larger entities try and organize our buying behavior. So again, everyone should act as an individual. I thought bikers tended to be more individualistic. I mean, what do you care if a certain group that you don't identify with also likes Harley Davidson? Does that somehow invalidate your decision to buy and ride a Harley Davidson? If it does, again, take a look in the mirror. So I think that's it for today's video. Please leave your comments. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Please stay tuned for future videos, and thanks for watching.